Welcome back to Daily ACM, our deep dive into A Course in Miracles.
And you know, we're going deep today.
Oh, yeah.
Deep into lesson 95.
And this one, I think it's fair to say, goes straight to the heart of what the Course is all about.
It really does. This lesson takes us right to one of the most fundamental, probably the most fundamental teaching of ACM.
Exactly. And that is the idea that we are inherently one with the Creator, that there's no separation.
Right.
It challenges the way we normally think about ourselves.
It does. Makes you wonder, you know, what is self even when you start to think about this idea.
And the core affirmation of this lesson, I am one self, united with my Creator. I mean, that's a powerful statement.
It really is. And it's not just a nice thought. It's a declaration. It's telling us who we truly are.
Right. And the Course says, and I think this is the part that's really hard to wrap our heads around, it says that the feeling we have, the very real feeling that we are separate individuals, that's actually an illusion.
It is. It's like we're looking through a distorted lens.
It's like, wow, okay, that's a big one to swallow.
It is. Think about it this way, you know, separation, it's like a misunderstanding at the deepest level. It's like we've forgotten our true nature.
Right. We've forgotten that we're part of this whole.
Exactly. And so this deep dive, what we're doing here, it's all about helping you explore this idea of unity.
Yeah.
Why it's so central to the Course. And more importantly, how you can start to experience it for yourself.
Because I think that's the key, right? It's one thing to intellectually understand it, but to actually feel it, to experience it.
Absolutely. It's got to go beyond the head. It's got to go into the heart.
Right. And that's what we're aiming for today, to make this concept of unity a little less abstract and a little more real.
Exactly.
Tangible.
Tangible, yeah. We want to help you bridge that gap.
Okay, so let's dive into lesson 95. I am one self, united with my Creator. I mean, that affirmation right there, it sets the tone for everything else, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's like the foundation of the whole lesson.
Yeah.
And what this lesson is teaching us is that our most fundamental reality is oneness with the Creator. And all that stuff that we experience on a daily basis, feeling separate, feeling like individuals, that's what the Course calls a misperception.
It's fabricated.
It's something that's made up.
Yeah.
And it's made up by what the Course calls the ego.
Now, when we say ego, what are we talking about here? Because that word can mean different things to different people.
That's a great point. When ACM talks about ego, it's not just about being self-centered or having a big ego. It's a much deeper concept.
Right.
The ego, in the context of the Course, is that part of our minds that believes in separation, that believes that we are fundamentally separate from each other and from the Creator. And that belief leads to fear, judgment, the need to control. It keeps us trapped in this illusion of being cut off.
So the ego is what's keeping us from experiencing that oneness that we're talking about.
Exactly.
And the Course is saying that all of our pain, all of our suffering comes from this belief in separation. It comes from the ego.
Right. Think about it, you know? If we believe we're separate, we're going to feel alone, vulnerable, afraid. We're going to constantly feel like we need to protect ourselves.
Right. We're always on guard.
Always on guard, exactly. So recognizing our unity with the Creator, that's not just some spiritual ideal, it's the key to healing.
And the Course even says it's the path to enlightenment.
It is.
So it's a pretty big deal.
Huge. It's a pivotal shift in perspective.
So by realizing that we're actually not separate, by recognizing our inherent unity, we can start to dismantle all those illusions that the ego has created.
Right. Those illusions of separation, those feelings of isolation, they start to dissolve when we see things from this perspective of unity.
And I imagine that brings a lot of peace.
It does. It brings peace. It fosters a sense of connection. And ultimately, it leads to love.
And when we're connected to the Creator, to the source of all love, I mean, that changes everything, doesn't it?
It does. It changes how we see ourselves, how we see the world, how we relate to everyone and everything.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about a fundamental shift in our reality.
Exactly. Think about times when you felt truly connected. Maybe you were out in nature.
Yeah.
Or you were sharing a moment of joy with someone you love. Or you were meditating and you felt this profound sense of peace. Now contrast that with times when you felt completely alone, misunderstood, like you were in conflict with the world. The Course says that the feeling of isolation, that's not our true state. The feeling of connection, of being part of something larger, that's a more accurate reflection of reality.
So the Course is saying that our natural state is one of unity, not separation.
Exactly. And that's why this affirmation, I am oneself, united with my Creator, is so important. It's not just something to think about. It's something to experience. It's a declaration of who we truly are.
So we're not just intellectually agreeing with a concept here. We're trying to embody this truth.
Exactly. We're going beyond the intellectual understanding and into a deeper realization.
Right. So how do we do that? How do we actually integrate this understanding into our lives? Does Lesson 95 give us any practical guidance?
It does. It offers some very practical and accessible ways to start experiencing this unity. One of the things the lesson suggests is simply taking moments throughout the day to recognize the presence of the Creator within you. Just to pause and acknowledge that presence.
So what would that look like? If someone was going to try that right now, what would they do?
It could be as simple as taking a deep breath and silently saying to yourself, the Creator is within me, or I am one with the Creator. It's just a gentle reminder, a way of turning inward and connecting with that source of peace and unity that's always there.
So it doesn't have to be a big formal meditation practice. It could be these little moments throughout the day.
Exactly. It's about bringing that awareness into your everyday life, not just when you're sitting on a cushion meditating, but when you're walking down the street or talking to someone or doing the dishes.
Right. So it's about weaving this awareness of unity into the fabric of our lives.
Precisely. And as you do that, as you practice recognizing that presence, you might start to notice subtle shifts in your perception.
Okay.
You might feel more peaceful, more connected to others, less alone.
So it's not necessarily going to be some huge dramatic change, but more like these subtle shifts in how we experience the world.
Right. It's a gradual unfolding. And the more we practice, the more those shifts become apparent.
And the affirmation, I am oneself, united with my Creator, can be really helpful in this process, right?
Yeah.
We can use that as a tool.
Absolutely. Whenever you take those moments to turn inward, you can repeat the affirmation to yourself. Let it sink in. Let it resonate within you.
So it's a way of reinforcing that awareness of our true nature. So to sum up, Lesson 95 is telling us that our true reality is one of unity with the Creator. And even though we might feel separate, that's just an illusion created by the ego. And the way to overcome that illusion, to heal the separation, is to practice recognizing our inherent unity. And we can do that in simple ways by taking moments throughout the day to acknowledge the presence of the Creator within us.
Beautifully said. And this practice, it's accessible to anyone. It doesn't require a lot of time or special skills. It's just a matter of bringing awareness to something that's already there.
Right. It's about remembering who we truly are.
Exactly.
So we encourage you to give it a try. Take a few moments today to practice recognizing your unity with the Creator and see what you notice.
Yeah, see what shifts you experience.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Lesson 95.
If this resonated with you, please like and share it with others who might find it helpful.
Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future deep dives.
We'll be back tomorrow with our next exploration of Course in Miracles.
And until then, see you soon.
See you tomorrow, and as you go about your day, ask yourself, how might remembering your unity with the Creator influence your interactions with others? Just something to ponder.
Something to ponder.